Oh my gosh. Okay, hello. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, Dragon.
I was like, oh no, it switched my scene.
I swear, every time, we say this every time, but every time I get on here and I put all my stuff on, it's like, no, I'm not going to work correct today. I'm going to do something dumb, and you're just going to deal with it.
I feel like it's just always me. I'm like, it's just always me doing something or accidentally hitting something or, oh gosh. Anyways, my brain is not functioning very good right now. So tired.
Mine either. I feel like, I don't know. I'm really tired.
Yeah.
I did not go to bed like a good girl last night. I stayed up too late.
Bad girl.
And here I am tired. But
I know. It's okay.
I will push through.
I know.
I mean, we've talked about a couple times, like, should we change the time? You know, I mean,
I know.
We're both, you and I are both more of a night owl than a morning bird. So this is definitely out of our realm of comfort.
Waking up in the morning has never been something I liked doing. So I always was like a very sleepy person, and I don't know why. I've always just been super tired. It's not like I don't know.
It doesn't matter what time I go to bed. I hate the morning. But okay, we've been doing this for a long time now. Like, it's a habit now, right?
Right.
And I still don't, I mean, I enjoy parts of the morning. I love getting up and going outside when it's still dark. I do like that. That has been good.
Yeah.
But, like, other than that, no. I want to sleep in my cozy bed.
I know. I always tell myself, like, I can sleep in tomorrow. But today is today, and I need to do it.
Today's the day. And this is the only day that I've been able to get up relatively early. Every other day, it's like regular time. Like, there's no getting up at 5.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
I try. If I got up at 5, I'd get so much done. I don't know why, but nah.
I don't know.
I'll just adjust my day.
I know. I feel
because I'm getting, like, old now.
Me too.
So, like, even if I stay up late, I'm still, like, in bed,
Renee,
at 10.
Renee says, Kay, you are just excited. Being up before the sun bites.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny.
And she gets up early like every day, right, Mom?
Oh, does she?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I think she gets up pretty early.
Yeah.
She had to take my sweet puppy to the vet last week.
Mm-hmm.
He got his final step to coming here.
Yeah?
Yeah. So he went to the vet, and yeah, she had to get up really early because he had to be. I think she got up at like 3:30, right, Mom?
My gosh.
Yeah, he had to be at the doctor by 9, and she's like 3 hours away. Yeah, I felt bad that she had to do that.
That's wild. Well, that's really nice of her.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so he's in his final leg of that process. Finally.
Good. Oh,
Well,
she said 3:45
to...
a.m.
Whoa, Mom.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I've stayed up till 3:45. There's very rare occasion in my whole life that I got up at 3:45.
Oh, I wake up at 3 something every morning, but I end up going back to sleep because I have very vivid dream experiences and things.
That happened to me a lot in the previous house that we lived in before this one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talked about it on Far Out Friday, but there was some things happening in that house. I woke up every night between 2 and 4, and something was going down in that house.
There's a lot of energy.
I wasn't the only one that experienced it, but I will tell you, in this house, knock on wood, nothing.
Good.
Like, I'm dead asleep. I don't wake up. It's kind of weird. I actually was like thinking about that a lot. I was like, I don't wake up in this house like I used to in the old house.
Weird.
Who knows? It's like the Twilight Zone.
Ooh.
But, yeah, so I don't know. Today's a funky day. I didn't really have like a direction today.
That's okay.
Tired.
Yeah.
We don't always need a direction, and that's why we like when our friends come on and chat with us and tell us what they've been up to.
Yeah.
I really haven't been up to much but school and work.
Yeah, but you've been doing music stuff, so how's that been going?
It's been going good. I really had a tough time. We had an assignment due on last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't turn it in until Monday.
Oh boy.
I've never turned... I'm kind of anal about like turning my stuff in on time ever since I became an adult. Maybe when I was a teenager I didn't care, but as an adult I'm like, gotta turn it in on time. I gotta get that A. I mean, we don't get graded or anything, but like, yeah, rough. Turned it in on Monday. Hated every second of what I turned in.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was really like pissed, like just pissed off. Like,
About
why do I have? Okay, so I've had this, we talk about this all the time. This like burning inside, this passion, this fire to do this thing, and it's obviously with music. There's just this pull of music that I just love.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gifted with a singing voice.
Yes, you were.
Not in the realm of you or other people that I know that sing.
You're
well.
doing yourself a disservice by comparing yourself to anybody else.
I know, but when I'm like sitting there, and I know that part of it has to do, like I've been having a lot of allergies lately, and I just can't seem to hit like notes, and the mic, like I've been using this mic to record the vocals, and this is not the mic to record vocals with for singing. It's just kind of fuzzy, and I think I'm just not very like. I don't know a lot how to use the software. I'm learning. I'm far beyond what I ever was, so I'm thankful for that. Because
it's awesome.
The class has pushed me to seek out learning. Because like I've had a couple people like, is the class worth it? Yeah, totally worth it. Not because, I mean, I'm learning stuff, but like the class doesn't necessarily teach you the fundamentals. It teaches you like this guy's process.
Yeah.
And his process alone is pretty unique and it's pretty cool. not that I couldn't go on YouTube and find another artist sharing their process, but this is just more hyper-focused, and you've spent money, so you're going to make it worth your while. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say anybody that's looking for time, this helps you. This like makes you say, okay, I'm going to give it time. Because, anybody could give something time if they choose it. But sometimes people need a little bit of a push, or they spent money and they're like, yeah, I need to do this. But so for me, it's been a struggle because I'm so passionately driven that I'm just pissed that it's not like a gift. And
Oh my goodness.
I know that's ridiculous, right? Like, that's so ridiculous for me to just think, oh, like, I love this thing, I should be gifted in it, but I'm not.
Don't you think that your passion is your gift? Because you have
absolutely.
You have this thing inside of you that not everybody has. And
I do understand that.
That's a huge gift in and itself. So definitely, I feel like that's like a huge thing. But also, I have heard you sing, and I know that you have a really beautiful voice. You just need to learn how to like use your instrument in the way that you use it. Don't try to sound like somebody else. Don't try to compare yourself to other people.
And I'm so like I see my daughter, and she can sing, and she's little, so she doesn't know all these things that are clouded in our world. She obviously knows probably more than I did at 12 because she has the internet, and there's just a lot on the internet these days. But like, she just sings her own way.
Yeah.
And she what does she do? She like long, I don't know what the term is, but she like extends the note on stuff all the time. Yeah. I'm like, why are you doing that? But she's like, I like it. And I was like, okay, and then do it.
She's playing with her instrument. That's what she is. And that's beautiful.
And I think part of it is like, I think part of this like process that I'm doing right now is I've never actually heard myself sing. I've never like recorded myself singing. And now that I'm like hearing it, I'm like, ooh.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do that to yourself. Everybody hates the way that they sound when they're recorded. Like, anytime I listen to my voice played back on anything, it doesn't matter what it is, especially singing though, it's terrible. And I'm like, why do people listen to this?
Aww.
No, it's legit.
I think it's never terrible.
Okay, I think the same thing about your voice. So stop.
So funny.
Everybody does that.
I have to play with sounds. I feel like when I've written a couple songs, they're not in my key.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm still learning about that. And like this new song I wrote, it's kind of I actually don't know what key I'm playing it in. I think it might be in G, and I think I can sing maybe in G. The last song was in C, and still like I think it was just out of my range, or I don't know. It just was really hard for me to sing because it kind of goes up and it goes down, and I was just like, okay, I should have like sang this more monotone. But I personally hate singing monotone. Like, I don't like that just like normal like one-sounded sound. So I typically don't sing like that, even though maybe my voice sounds best like that.
Aww.
I don't enjoy that.
Just try a bunch of different things. Like, record yourself singing a bunch of different styles and see, like, what you like hearing it back best. Because you're not going to like a lot of it.
But. No, and that's something that I've liked about this class. Because the guy's method, Ryan Tedder, his method is to sing gibberish. So, like, he'll lay down a track, and then he'll just be like ba-da-da-da, ba-da, and then he'll like say words, and like he'll make up like a melody before he even writes the lyrics, which you and I have always had a tendency to write lyrics prior to making music. And it's kind of hard to get away from that sound in your head.
Yeah,
it's not working, or like it's
I don't know. I feel like we've done it both ways. I know that I've done it both ways, but for me, it just, for my songwriting process is like, whatever it comes to me as is what I start with. Yeah. So I don't try to force anything.
Well, like, okay, so like, this new song that I started making. Misha's like, "Oh, that sounds like you. Is this Blue?" And I was like, because she knows that I wrote a song called Blue. You know that song. And I was like, "Oh, let me see."
Yeah.
So then I like kind of sang some of the Blue lyrics to it. And I was like, "Oh yeah, this could work. This could go." And yeah, it can do that. And I don't know. I was never officially happy with the sound of that song.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's because I needed a new sound, but using the same words in the same way and the same feeling, still the same song, still good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We'll see where it goes.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'll record it and it'll be like,
I keep telling you, I can't wait to hear it, and you keep pushing it off.
It's crazy because I had to share these songs with my classmates, and I'm not afraid to. Like, I wasn't afraid to share them with them. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they're all doing the same thing and they're all vulnerable just as much as I am. I'm not ready to share any of what I've done with the world. I'm like, no.
Just share it with me.
No. I'll share it with you.
Yeah, you better.
So you're gonna be like, oh,
shut up. Shut up.
Well, the last recording I used a vocal distortion because I was like, I hate the way it sounds. I put all this stuff on this, and the comment I got from the one guy is like, I think you used too much wobble. I'm like, yeah, I know. Oh well, it's okay. It's all good.
People like raw voices.
I know. I know. I like my favorite voice to impersonate was probably Gwen.
Yeah.
You knocked that out of the park. I love it because that's like the sound we grew up on. And
yeah.
Grew up on Gwen.
Yeah.
That's that's the sound we grew up on, and I just like imitating her. I know some people don't care for her voice, which is crazy, but I've always loved it. It's different.
There's a voice for every ear, so it's everyone has their taste that they are preferred to.
There was somebody I was listening to.
Oh,
I don't remember. Just different. I love different sounds, different vibes. Like there's this guy called Rex Orange County. Have you heard of him?
No.
It's kind of like melodic, and then all of a sudden he drops an F-bomb, and I don't know why I like it. I was like,
because it's unexpected, or
I guess expect the unexpected. I like Big Brother, but
God.
It was like I was like, I like this, and one of my favorite artists is Mike Snow.
Oh yeah.
I've been studying him a lot. I just listen, and something about the class has taught me how to break the sounds up, and I can almost pinpoint now how many sounds they're using. Not exactly, but I can hear all the different tracks that they've put on the song, and and the complications of how complicated it is. I guess some music out there, which I kind of think is crazy, has 130 tracks on it sometimes. I'm like, what? Who puts that many instruments in a song? But I guess they do. I was looking at Billie Eilish, Ocean Eyes, and she layered her vocals in the beginning. That 12, it was 12 stacks of vocals, and they're not copies. They're all her singing it 12 times, but then they layered it. Her brother layered it all up. It sounds amazing. So I'm stealing that technique.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's pretty freaking cool. So it's like she has this ensemble of backup singers, but it's really her.
Yeah. Her. I know. I love some of her stuff. Some of it I'm like, whatever, but no, that Ocean Eyes song is actually really...
She's wacky, but...
I like her. I like her style. I like the way that she does.
She's different. She definitely reminds me of our version of Gwen, just different vibe, different everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's what brings flavor to the music industry, is when they throw out something different, because the same pop songs over and over and over again, and a lot of the music sounds the same these days. at least
well,
I don't know.
I feel like everything goes through waves of like what's popular, and then it's just like the clothes that we wear, or like the style coming back into style, like the 70s I guess are back.
I noticed that some of the kids were wearing bell bottoms. I was like, what?
Yeah,
I used to wear those.
I used to wear bell bottoms too.
Mm-hmm. What are those, Boingo jeans, and gosh, all those fun 90s clothes. So this last week we somehow got on the topic of retro video games. And oh my gosh, there's some great ones. So I used to, my parents were not together when I was a teenager, young kid.
A youngin'.
12-year-old.
A youngin'.
My parents were divorced, and I would go visit my dad every other weekend. And when I was at my dad's house, it wasn't until I think I was like 12 or 13. He got remarried, and then I had step siblings, and we'd have fun and hang out. But before that, when, it was nighttime and he's going to bed and whatever, and I'm like, I don't want to go to bed, I would play on his computer, and he had this game called Wing Commander. I didn't even know what it was called. I just used to play it all the time. And when I played it, it was so, it was such a different feeling. Because now when I like Googled it and looked it up on YouTube, I'm like, wait, that's the game? That's the game? It looks so old. Don't you hate that?
I do.
When you
makes you feel really old.
I know. When you look up like a show that you used to watch and you're like,
oh my gosh, no,
really
like
old.
When I went to Florida to visit Garrett, he took me to this pinball arcade place, and
fun.
It was awesome because like you pay by the hour and you could play all the games. Like, so
that's amazing. I want to go there.
What we realized really quickly is that those old games are actually really difficult. They're really hard to play. So
I'm talking about like where it's just got like the knob and the two buttons. And
and like Donkey Kong, where you're like climbing the ladders and stuff like that. Like that one's really, really hard to play.
Donkey Kong kills me. I like suck at that game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, 100% agree. I used to go. There was this Mexican food place that we used to eat at all the time when I was a kid, and they had a Marvel vs. Capcom video game.
Yeah.
And you would like fight people. It was like Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I don't remember who else is on there, but I used to be, oh my gosh, what's her name? The girl. I used to be the girl all the time. I can't think of her name now. And I just remember I would just like wail. It was like, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
But it was so hard.
I know.
It was so hard. So you're right. It is hard. And, we have arcades here. We have lots of those here. I was really surprised. I haven't seen those since I was like a teenager. I was like,
yeah.
Like,
I would love to go to an arcade. Like, I took the kids to Dave & Buster's, but it's just not the same. It's not the same vibe at all.
No, we used to go there a lot. That was actually like one of our go-to date nights was Dave & Buster's, and it's fun, but you're right. That's not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Chuck E. Cheese on crack, but it's just not. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like too high tech, I guess. Like I like the old grungy like 90s vibe, 80s vibe. You know what I'm talking about.
The good stuff.
The good stuff. The good old days.
The good stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, like, there was a couple people. Oh, okay, so somebody brought up 007.
007, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was like me and Eric and Fareed used to play that all the time. And I remember like sneaking in and like trying to like get past these guards. It was a fun game.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that game. I can hear the music. It's like, but now like if you look that up, it looks so bad. Like it's so old.
Oh, I know. I went back to a game that I used to play when I was young. It was like my favorite game of all time, called Quake 2. And I used to stay up really late. I used to stay up till like 4 in the morning playing that game.
Fun.
Don't tell my mom, but no. Yeah, it's really wild to look at the actual graphics of that game now. I'm like, I thought this was good.
So horrible.
Oh my god. But it's amazing, and it doesn't matter. The graphics don't matter, and Minecraft taught us that. Like,
they really don't matter, and it's kind of funny to see the kids get into things that you're like, wait, what? That's from my time.
Yeah. My favorite thing is like hearing them singing songs that are like super old, like beyond our time even, and
they heard them on a movie.
They heard them in a video game, and they're like learning these old songs. I love that.
I love that TikTok like rehashed that Fleetwood Mac song.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know.
I'm not on TikTok either, but that blew up. It's a guy who's like skateboarding or something, and he's drinking a Slurpee or I don't know what he's drinking, but he's just like skateboarding. He's got his phone in front of him, and he's like doing this, and he's listening to Fleetwood Mac. Now here I go again. I'm gonna botch the song.
I love that song. Yeah.
And he's like mouthing the words. That blew up, and all the kids started downloading the song, and like, I mean, I was kind of like, oh yeah, that's a good song, but like these kids had no idea, unless their parents listened to it. They're like, yeah, you know, not until this guy made it famous on TikTok.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. It's just funny how like how this viral world of the internet has brought things back.
Well, yeah, if it's good, it's good, you know. And like for me, it's funny, I'll find myself like thinking about something like, oh, I want to do this to my hair, or I want to wear this color, and then like I see that it's starting to become a thing around me, like with other people, and I'm like, oh, you're feeling the vibe too. Like, it's like, so funny. They don't even know. They don't even realize that they're feeling it, but it's funny because I was like, maybe I'll do my hair pink. And everybody's like doing their hair pink and purple, and
you're like, wait a second.
Like, okay.
So I was thinking about that actually, like how trends happen and how like vibes get brought back, and like just how like things are in and things are out, and you know, like with music or home decor or whatever, you know, it was really popular with like farmhouse stuff was really popular for a while. Then now there's this like bohemian.
Yeah.
And it's you can see it under like the the teenage generation of kids right now. They're kind of going through these waves of style. Mm-hmm. It was like kind of 80s, and then it kind of went to this like bohemian look. And I'm digging it. Don't get me wrong, I'm digging it. But I'm like, how did this happen? Like, how did these things happen? But you're right, like these vibes and ideas all come together because we're all thinking on the same level sometimes. Mm-hmm. And it's just interesting.
We're on the same frequencies.
I always think like, oh, how am I going to create the next best thing? Like, what I want to be in the know. Like, what's coming? I think about that with music. Like, what's coming? And I always I think that like I actually have discovered like the sound that I like because I keep tending to make the same sound. Mm-hmm. Not the same sound, but in the same realm of stuff, and it's kind of 80s, I guess, but that wasn't on purpose, which is
I need to hear your stuff. Why are you doing this to me?
I was really not into 80s music. Like,
I love 80s. Okay, so there's this person on YouTube, I think it's Time Cop something. Time Cop.
What's that?
It's like a person that makes music. I'm going to link it to you because it's so good. It's so good. What? You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Okay, hold on.
Have you been, I know, people who have logged on today, they're like, what is this show? Like, what are you
guys don't worry about it.
We're just having a good time today, you guys. Like, seriously, we've hashed through a lot of topics in the last 12 weeks, and you know, sometimes we just have to cut loose and have a little fun and not have a plan.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We love when you hop on and tell us, you know, what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
But I think, okay, so there is something that I can say, because you and I briefly talked about it. So I was really getting down on myself about this whole music thing. And I'm like, I can't sing.
Right. And you're lying to yourself. I
know that I just need to figure out what my sound is, and it'll come. hopefully it's desirable to me, to where I feel like, oh yeah, this sounds good, I'm gonna put it out there. Because I can do that with other things, like my artwork, or when I create a video or whatever. I know when it's good and I know when it's not so good. I want to know that it's good with my music, so I know it's coming. I just have to keep working towards getting better at stuff. But I was thinking about that, like people who are passionate about something, but they feel like they're not gifted in it. And I was looking up some quotes, like one of the people that follow us, or we follow them, I don't know, they just were like in my head last week. Every post they posted was just like pulling at my heartstrings, and I was like, you're like in my head, like I need to hear these things. You're on our same, like you're on my level. You're hearing what I need, you know what I needed to hear, and you're sharing it, and I'm so thankful. Thank you. Because I mean, yeah, they might have shared it like 2 weeks ago and I wouldn't have noticed it as much, or wouldn't have meant as much, but they happened to share it on the day that I was feeling like a failure and I was feeling like I suck. And I know there's people out there that have a passion for something, and they may have done what I've done, and they're trying to like explore that passion and achieve, you know, and make something, but they're feeling they're falling short. And I could see how easily it would be to just be like, I'm over this. I give up. What's the point of all this? What's the point of all this hurt that I'm feeling? You know, what do I want to do with this? And then you start getting all this self-doubt. And you start telling yourself, I can't do it. Why am I doing it? Is this worth it? Like, it's a lot of self-examination. It's a lot of like, just personal, really. And then you're fearful of the outcome, and you start to limit yourself. And I realized that. I was like, wait a second, if I give up on this, then what? Like, then what am I gonna do with it? Like, then what am I gonna strive for? And so that woke me up, and I was like, oh, okay, it's okay. One of the things that my classes taught me is they say you just need to suck just enough. They don't want you to be amazing. They said you got to suck a little bit, because you suck a little bit, that's when magic happens. And first I didn't understand what he meant when he said that, but now I get it. I get it. If you're too good, then you're never going to make it better. You're never going to strive for better. You're going to just be like, I'm good. I don't need to do more. And we should always be pushing ourselves to do better, no matter what, even if we think we're the best. So those of you out there that are passionate about something but feel like you suck and you're just frustrated and be like, why wasn't I gifted with this thing? You know, especially when you feel like there's a dime a dozen of people. Like, I feel like I've met so many people who sing so amazing, and I look at them and I'm like, how do you do that? But I know it came with practice and determination and just trying and putting themselves out there. I mean, that's why at one point they decided, hey, I'm going to perform live. I'm going to do this live. I'm going to perform in front of other people. And then it just probably got easier for them as they kept doing that, right? I mean, you've performed live.
Yeah.
That's probably what makes it easier, is just keep doing it.
I feel like, I don't know if I would say it gets easier, but with practice you can train yourself to turn your nervous energy into projection, into your voice, and that power that you need to perform the songs. But I don't know, I'm not perfect, and I've made so many mistakes as a singer, and like I've performed things that I look back now and I'm like, oh God, turn it off, you know, because I hate it, but I love it. I love just letting it out there, and whatever happens with it happens.
No, I mean, but like, I think that we are really hard on ourselves. Like, we're really hard on ourselves. I know that, like, you've said to me, oh, I hate that video or whatever, that we did in Florida. And I love it. I think it was so cool. Like, I just loved every second of that whole experience. But I get it. I understand your feelings.
Yeah.
I
hate it.
Definitely. And I think that's what's hard for me, is because, you know, when I'm recording these songs right now, I'm by myself.
I know. Bounce it off of me. I'm always here. Send it to the Google Drive or something, and I'll listen to it, and I'll tell you, honestly.
Tell me how to make this better.
I will be your mirror.
I just, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's just a couple things playing against me. I feel like I'm really having, like, horrible allergies. Like, just, like...
We talked about this.
I was like, maybe that's what's, like, really making it, like, cracky and, like, I don't know.
Your voice?
I've never sang before, like, really, other than karaoke.
Well, obviously, you have to take care of your voice. Like, you have to drink. Yeah. Like, I like drinking, like, hot lemon water in the morning because it, like, kind of prepares. And I suffer with things like that, too. But I've been learning about chakras, and we talked about this a little bit. Like, our chakras, if our chakras are blocked in any way, they will come out of our body in, like, sicknesses or, you know, ailments, or there's gonna be a physical side effect of a blocked chakra, because those are our energy points in our body. And if we're not allowing those energies to flow freely, like for our throat chakra, if we're not openly and authentically expressing ourselves, then we're going to have blockages, and then that's going to cause problems for us. So, and it causes problems with your hearing too. So I've been learning a lot about that lately. But I feel like you need to take care of your voice, you need to take care of yourself, you need to let your expressions come through and just let it all out and let that energy flow.
Doesn't it all go back to the same basic steps, the same basic things? Take care of yourself.
Yes.
And all of it will be good.
Yes.
I mean, all of it, literally. Get enough sleep, eat healthy food.
I know.
Drink lots of water.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking of my friend David. Did you meet my friend David? I don't think you did. No. So my friend David is an opera singer, and he's just amazing. He's very intelligent, like genius intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But he sings he just sings so amazing, and he's so much fun. Like, he recorded all these videos of him singing like Aladdin songs.
Oh, I love Aladdin songs.
Yeah, he's so cute. I'll have to show you. I'll link his stuff because he's got some great stuff. And I love you, David. We miss you. But me and David have known each other, I think, since we were 8. Like,
oh my gosh.
A long time. And it's funny how we keep, like, kind of every once in a while we'll come back up in each other's lives. But yeah, so something I remember him talking about, I don't know if it was at my house or we've talked about something. He was telling me about, like, the things that he doesn't do to protect his voice. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. Like, wait, what? Like, he doesn't drink and he doesn't smoke or any of those things because he said it affects your vocals.
It does.
And it affects your larynx. And I was like, oh, that's probably my problem. Not that I drink or smoke, but, like, I drink energy drinks and I don't always eat good. I'm like, I bet you all that crap messes with my vocals.
Sugar is not really that good. Like, that's what I've noticed a lot too, is like if I a lot of, like, milk, like dairy isn't really good for my voice. Yeah, which I am terrible because I drink coffee and then I go on a break from it, and then I notice that things get better when I go on the break, but then I always, for some reason, start drinking it again.
Can you switch up your creamer? My mom uses
it's my mom's.
Oh. My mom uses stuff called nut pods. I don't know, like, they're, like, made out of... I love it.
Shut up.
Stop it,
Shut up.
But I don't drink coffee, so I don't know how good it is. But, like, she's like, no, it's been a good alternative. And then she, like, didn't have it for a little bit, and so she started using creamer again. And I know for me, like, I'm eating like Greek yogurt this morning, and it's making me all flammable.
Yeah, I hate it. Oh my god.
I love this stuff. Another thing, like, in the class, they talk about don't eat acidic foods like 12 hours before you're going to sing. So, like, don't eat, like, spicy tomatoes, none of that.
Yeah.
And then it did say don't drink any carbonation, and, like, I don't remember, like an hour or two before you sing, I'm like, oh, that's probably my problem.
Yeah, well, they just don't want burps to come out when you're trying to, like, project your sound. Oh my god. Yeah, no. That would not be lovely.
So, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I'm going to be totally honest.
Okay.
So, when we first started our podcast, I was pretty, legit. I had this, like, routine, and everything had to be perfect.
I know.
It's week 12, and I'm like, whatever. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. I still have all my setup all good. Everything's all good.
Yeah.
And, like, don't really give a crap what's going on back here. I'm like, whatever. It's good.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't...
That's good how it is, though.
All the little details.
Yeah. That's why, like, I was always telling you, like, it doesn't matter. The quality's good. Like, blah, 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 blah. Because I've already been streaming on other things. And just, the comparison between past streams that I've done, this is amazing. This is really good.
Really good.
I'm proud of you.
I was watching, anytime if I've turned on the news, they have to do a lot of news now remotely. I mean, I guess they've always done remote news, right? They've always had someone on scene and they're in the studio. Their lag is, like, bad, like, sometimes. And I'm like, I think
I don't watch the news.
No, not no more.
I don't watch the news ever.
Depressing. It's always depressing.
Okay, and that just, like, ties back into, like, the media is lying to us. Everything that they say is a lie. They twist it and manipulate it, and it's just sickening. Don't listen to them.
Like, if you really, really, really want to get to the nitty-gritty, watch Ron Burgundy. What's that movie? What's the show called?
Oh, God.
Anchorman. Okay?
Yeah, no.
Anchorman, the second one. They talk about how they have to entertain people for 24 hours a day. And they had to come up with, like, new stuff all the time. Because there's not that much stuff that's interesting. Think about reality TV. Think about reality TV for a minute, though. So, like, Big Brother, right? They follow those people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 99% of the time, the people that are in the house, it's boring. Like, they're just like, la, la, la.
Yeah.
They're just boring. So, the show obviously creates ways to spice things up to give something to show the world. And they manipulate it to where it becomes interesting. I just don't think... And that's why, like, these kids are watching YouTube all the time and seeing these people, like, film their lives. And I remind my kids, that's not how their life really is every day. No. They put on this illusion, and it's just to entertain you. There's nothing wrong with that. Entertainment, great. But, yes, the news media uses a lot of manipulation and tactics to create entertainment and talk.
Yeah.
And... we just have to tune it out because pretty much I think whatever we read these days, it's just not true.
No, because for every perspective, there's a million more. So, and they're not all going to be the same ever. So,
100%.
I like listening to people who are, like, I feel like Alan Watts was one of the greatest teachers ever to walk this earth.
He's really great. He's really great.
He is very honest and tells people like it is, and what it is that this whole thing that we're experiencing is a play. It's like
and we're just the characters in it.
Yeah. We are playing these roles in this world, and it's all a big play. And it's not that serious, and we need to just take a chill pill.
And you write your own story. You are the writer of your own song. So play the song you want to play. And, and stop. I'm so guilty of this, but stop comparing yourself to other people. If you like it, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I know that's hard for some people because... if it's conflicting to someone's values or whatever, I might be like, but, like, to each their own.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like living that way is the only way to live.
Well,
to each their own and love each other.
Be accepting.
I had shared some quotes from, Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And
he's right.
He is. He said, "Love is the way." We should always be in love. And what did it say?
Hate cannot drive out hate.
Only love can do that.
It's the truth.
And it's 100% the truth.
Yeah, because when you have love in a space, in your heart, when you have love inside of you, you cannot have hate inside of you. The two cannot coexist together in the same space. So that's why it's important to fill yourself with love. Fill yourself up so much that you're overflowing. And it, like I posted yesterday, sometimes we have to write a list for ourselves of ways that we can love ourselves. And it's okay to do it that way. It's probably really helpful for people to do it that way, because then, it kind of puts it in front of you like, this is something that you need to do today. This is your to-do list for yourself, right? And so I made a to-do list for myself. I love lists. I love it because then it's like, I can tackle these things.
Boxes.
Yeah.
Yes, I love checking off boxes, and I love making lists. Makes me feel accomplished.
Yeah. So write a list of, however many things you can do to love yourself every day. Things that you can do right now. Because, there's always the micro steps to get to the macro goal. So what are those micro steps that you can do right this minute to start showing yourself love and filling yourself up with good, positive things? Like mine are clear out your space. That's a big thing for me because it's a huge thing for me. So clearing out my space, getting rid of the things that I don't need and don't want. I don't even want most of this stuff that I have in my room. I don't even want it.
You don't need it, right?
The thing is, it's overwhelming to the point where to go through each thing is going to be a process for me. So that's where I'm at. I'm like, and I gotta stop avoiding it. I've got to stop avoiding it. I've been putting Band-Aids over myself to try to ignore the work, but I'm not ignoring the work anymore. I'm
the queen of procrastination, so I understand.
It's avoiding the work, right?
Because it's 100%.
Yeah.
It's avoiding the difficult thing that you don't want to deal with, and so you suppress it. But I mean, if you set some goals for yourself, and you actually want, because a goal only is only good if you actually do it.
Yeah.
But like my top 6 thing that I do most days I should say, because I don't always do it. But so if I sat down and made a list of all the things that I want to accomplish in whatever time frame, each day I take 6 of those things. Hold on.
You're good.
There's my voice going away.
You're fine.
But if you don't overwhelm yourself with all the things, just choose a few things to get done. And because checking those things off and just being like, I did this today, it makes you feel so good. I love that feeling, that high that you get from just an accomplished day, or just that bubbly feeling that you get when you're having a great day. I love that feeling. I want to harness that feeling all the time. That's not always possible. That's not always there.
That's not life.
But I'd much rather have that feeling more often than not.
Exactly.
I found a quote that I forgot that I wanted to share. Okay. I don't know. Have you learned a lot about Albert Einstein? I mean, I know a lot about him. I know that he wasn't always getting good grades in school and whatever, even though he's a genius.
Yeah.
But he just didn't fit in the box that was created in the school system.
Most of us don't.
No. In fact, he was very good at, some subjects, but not good at all subjects, which I don't think any of us are. We're usually good at one and not the other. But he just had a very interesting life, and I didn't know. I had a girl tag me in a video because I'm in a little group of people, and I think I've brought this up before, but one of the guys in the group, he always posts hey guys, how you doing? Friend check. Are you doing okay today?
Mm-hmm.
And that particular day was like, no, I feel like crap today. Thank you for asking. I'm feeling this way
Mm-hmm.
and this way and this way. And this girl's like, hey, you should watch this video
Yeah.
because it's going to remind you that you're just as great. And I was like, okay, so watch it. It was about Albert Einstein. I'm like, well, that guy's a genius. Duh.
So are
But
you.
exactly. So I learned all this stuff. We're all geniuses.
Yeah.
And he said something that's so like powerful. It's true. And this was about this whole passion versus being gifted.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I have, and many will say, yeah, right, bro, you're like super genius. But he said this, I have no special talents. I'm only passionately curious.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, mind blown. Wait,
Yep.
what? That's how he felt about himself? Who am I to say anything? I mean, that guy's freaking amazing. But we're all amazing. And we need to remember that and stop self-doubt. Self-doubt is just a limitation.
It is a limitation we put on ourselves because nobody else is doing it to you.
Yes.
And that's what pretty much everything in life is. Everything in life is all self-inflicted, right?
And if somebody tells you suck, it's one person's opinion. Who gives a crap? Even if 10 people tell you suck, keep pushing, because that's having that negative thing does push you.
Mm-hmm.
Some people give up, but you shouldn't. You should push and you should keep trying, because that's when great things happen. All those people who decided to keep pushing through and keep trying at something that they maybe had sucked at are the reason they're the great today. Albert Einstein wasn't always great at everything. He couldn't get a job because of his erratic, disobedient behavior. People wouldn't give him recommendations, so he couldn't get a job anywhere. But he didn't give up. He just kept pushing through, and he did amazing things. And so I'm like, I didn't know that about him. And I know there's lots of people who have those kinds of stories.
Nikola Tesla was the same way. Nikola Tesla is one of my favorite people because
we should do
he
like
understood.
A whole segment on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he definitely understood things far beyond people around him. In his time, he understood the vibration and the frequency and the buoyancy and the density and the intensity of vibration and energy. And that's why he was able to create all of those wonderful things. And here we are today using Wi-Fi, using cell phones.
It's so cool.
It's all things that he invented. He found it out. So it's pretty cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Science is a really cool thing, you guys.
Yeah.
But like when you look at those people, when you look at these people that we admire, all of them have a story. It's very rare that you'll find anybody who's just got lucky. Not very many. There's not very many people that just got lucky.
No, we all struggle.
People work really hard.
Out of the struggle comes the greatest innovation. So that's what it's all for. The struggle is the creative process. The dark creative blocks that we go through, it's not really a block. It's just pushing you to think in different ways to create something new, So
exactly.
That's why it's a beautiful thing, even though it feels like it's not.
It's just a time, the lull. It's the low, and you're gonna pop back up.
Only if you keep going.
That's true.
You have to allow yourself to not get stuck in a dark, low place, because I've been there and I felt very stuck.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it is a slingshot moment where you feel like you're pulled down so low, but it's a rubber band. It's pulling you so low, but once you figure it out, you let go, and then it goes boom, and then you skyrocket. So that's what we need to remember. Don't let things get you down, and don't take it so hard, because it's just a slingshot.
There's so much just lack of hope right now.
Mm-hmm.
That that's where this depression comes from, is just a lack of hope. And I'm really looking at things very differently, and I'm very thankful for that perspective, and it has to do with the fact that you and I have made it a point to seek out these things. I only see good things happening. Like, I'm like, oh no, all this stuff that you guys are all worried about, it just means something big and good is coming, and we should embrace it. I mean, yeah, my life has been forever changed, but in so many good ways.
Right.
So,
without contrast, you would never see anything. So you have to have the darkness to see the light, and vice versa. So
that's why we have trials and tribulations.
Exactly, because it allows us to see things from a different perspective, in different lights, different shades, different shadows, and it's a beautiful, beautiful dance. This whole universe is a beautiful dance, and things always have to fall apart before they can rebuild themselves into something bigger and better. So
absolutely,
that's what this is all about. That's what's happening from my perspective.
Me too. I think that we are of the same tribe, kindred spirits. And I know there's a lot of people that are on the same thinking as us right now. And if you're not, and you're feeling really crappy lately, try to find a new perspective. Look for the silver linings. We talk about this all the time. Find the rainbows. There's rainbows everywhere, guys. Like, out of the storm comes the light.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I read this thing about this lady. She was like, I'm so fearful. I'm dealing with a lot of fear right now. And I'm like, quit lying to yourself then. Because that's what fear is. We talked about this last week. Fear is a lie that we tell ourselves that something bad's going to happen. Something bad's happening.
Something that hasn't happened, we're like afraid of it, and it hasn't even happened.
If you guys ever watched Sadhguru, I think that's how you say his name, he talks about that exact thing. Is it really bad? Okay, think about it. So, like, he did this illustration of, like, this boy that broke his leg, and everyone was telling the father of the boy, like, oh, I'm so sorry, it's so horrible what happened to your son, oh my goodness. And then he says, oh, but is it horrible? Because he went through this whole, like, storytelling process about how, like, that one thing seemed so horrible, but a lot of good came from it, and the whole future of that boy was changed forever because of that one broken leg. And so, like, if we can really put ourselves into that kind of a way of thinking, like, see things from the higher perspective, the bigger picture of all of it, then we don't know exactly what's going to happen or what's going to come, but we know it's going to be better than what it was before.
Well, if we personally look at the difficult times that we've experienced in our life, yes, I'm sure there's things we'd be like, I wish that never happened.
Nope, but not anymore.
the things that have happened have led us to where we are.
Exactly.
And there's some things that have happened in my life that I'm like, okay, well, what was that for? But it's going to reveal itself soon, because it was for a reason. It was a trial that I had to experience for something that's coming.
Yeah.
I needed that perspective so that I could be more compassionate and understanding to maybe one of my kids, or my spouse, or my relatives or friends, or just something I needed to just do for myself.
Yeah.
That's what life is.
It's all lessons of love, because that's really what it boils down to, is how can we love more? How can we be more loving? How can we express love more? And accept one another, because we're all the same being. We're just different little compartments. I have a little different part of you, and you have a little different part of me, and that's what we bring to the world, and together we make a whole. So
I hope that I can find that Jessica voice inside of me.
You're going to find your own version. You've got to bring your own spice. You got to bring your own flavor, your own tone.
That's enough.
Yes.
I'm trying.
You're doing it. You're doing it.
So cracky. Like,
no.
But, like, I don't know.
You need to speak good things about yourself.
It sounded really bad.
Do your affirmations in the mirror and tell yourself, like, I got this. This is amazing. I'm doing good. I've already grown so much. Point out your good things that you've already accomplished, because there's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying, like, to David. I was telling him, like, yeah, I'm really grateful for this class, because I feel like there was just a day I was, like, crying, and I was like, don't talk to me. I hate myself.
Aww.
But then the next day I woke up and I'm like, no, this is so good, because now I've learned literally, like, when I used to do these things before, it wasn't that good. Now it's, like, so much better than it was. So I'm like, okay, well, each time I'm just going to get better and better. I mean, like, even this whole thing, like, how much better we've gotten each time we've done it. Like, it's just, we know how to record this, and we know how to put this together. And
video editing, we've gotten so much better at video editing and things like that.
So much better, you know?
I know.
And, you know, always trying new things and having fun.
Just have fun with it. Play the play.
I think we decided to take a break from Far Out Friday this month, right?
Just for whenever we feel inspired to do a Far Out Friday thing, we're going to do it. But we don't want to push every week. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, here's the thing. We haven't always been able to find, like, something that's, like, really intriguing to us. And so instead of just, like, throwing something out there because we have to, we're just like, no. Like, last week's episode of Battlefield 4, that was fascinating. That was fun.
That was really interesting.
That was randomly given to us by your dad.
Yeah. Which we invite you guys to do that. If you guys find a subject that you think is really weird, or if you want us to do a video on it, or if you want us to do research on it, or talk about it on the show, send us the subject and, like, talk about it to us for, you know, whatever.
We want to do research.
We'll do it. I want to learn more. So
I was actually thinking about doing a little bit, I don't know, not right now, because that requires me to have more time, but I like this idea of doing kind of like an autobiography of people, of like I didn't know all that stuff about Nikola Tesla.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that somebody's already done it, but like
there's documentaries on it.
But I think it's cool to, like, you know, there's all these people telling stories on the internet these days, and I'm fascinated with these stories of just extraordinary people.
Yeah.
Just people that we may admire, and we had no idea, like, where they came from and how they got there. And I had seen this post one time that said, like, it was like about all these famous people that you know today, and it was about, like, they didn't make it big until this happened, or they were rejected like 55 times before this got accepted. And it just makes you go, what? Like, that's it. Just I sometimes need that. I don't know. Maybe I know it's just, if you just want to do something, just do it, but sometimes I need some motivation.
How about you think about things like, well, the way that I see it is, like, my measure of success is whatever I say is successful. It's not compared to other people's success definition, right?
No.
But so keep it good for you. Make it good for you.
Yeah.
Do good for you.
Exactly.
Focus on your own personal growth and love and creative experience. And if you do that, then you're going to put stuff out there that's going to be beautiful for you. You're going to be able to enjoy it. And there's other people that are going to be able to enjoy it. And then you're going to grow no matter what you do, but as long as you're doing something, right? So,
I love inspiring people. Like,
I know. Inspire yourself.
But inspire yourself. That's, in fact, the channel that I watched that had the Albert Einstein video is actually called Inspire Yourself. And I was like,
it's true.
That's awesome. I love this channel. I think I subbed to it because I was like, I just liked their whole motto of just inspire yourself, because there's all these amazing people that you admire that you think are so much better than you.
They're not.
And they're literally just like you.
They're just another compartment. They have different things about them, but you have different things about you. And you just need to reflect on you and think about what you bring to the world. What do you want to emulate in this world? What do you want to see in the world? And create that, right? So that's how we do it.
I really want to jump to the future and see what our grandchildren or great-grandchildren are going to think.
Oh, boy.
Looking at all this recorded stuff that we have access to. Because there's very little, like, recordings and stuff of my ancestors, you know, my grandparents, definitely my great-grandparents. There's nothing out there that really, maybe a couple pictures.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's gonna happen? What is the next generation of people going to think of this time? Because it's all documented.
Yeah.
So documented.
I feel like as long as we are staying positive and living our truth and being authentic to ourselves, I don't know, I feel like the mature ones who understand things
I'm excited for my grandchildren, great-grandchildren, whatever, to look back and be like, dude, my grandma was cool. Because that's what I want. I want them to think, grandma's cool. Yes, I'm a cool grandma. I
don't even want to think about being a grandma right now.
Wow.
Stop it.
It's so close for me to be a grandma, y'all. Like, how scary is that?
We talked about this too, and I said, no, Brad, no.
My son is turning 21 this year.
You're too young for this.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. No, there's nothing wrong with being a grandma. We love our grandmas, and we appreciate them.
And one day I'll talk about my story, but, you know, some people know, some people don't know, but I had Brad at 15, and that was a whole nother life. It's a whole different part of my life.
It was a big experience.
It was a huge experience for me. It affected me. It affected my friends. It affected my family. So many things. But I learned so much, and I don't regret
your friends and family and Brad all energetically agreed to have that experience with you. They all energetically agreed to be there for you in that moment, to experience that with you.
Yeah.
That's what we do with one another. Our soul contracts, our karmic contracts, the things that we sign up for when we're born, we sign up for all of it, and I don't care what anybody says.
100% agree.
We do. Agreed to be here. We agreed to go through the things that we go through. We agreed to experience the things that we experience. And it is what it is. So, you know, people need to start taking responsibility for their own agreements, their energetic agreements. So, that's another subject we'll talk about another day.
It's totally another subject. But, like, you know, I mean, life's crazy, guys. I feel like I've lived like 3 lives already. I know that sounds really weird, but like,
no, it doesn't.
I feel like I'm on my 3rd life right now. And you know, I'm ready for the 4th. It's just each wave has got a different element and a different aspect, and I'm enjoying the ride. And
we're learning how to surf life.
You're never too old. You're never too anything.
You're never too anything. You're perfect just the way you are.
At any time. I just remember being told that, like, there comes a point where, like, you gotta stop pushing and start focusing on other things, and I disagree with that to the tenfold. You can do what you want to do and help your kids do what they want to do all at the same time. You know how, like, people live vicariously through their children? I don't think we need to do that. I think we can support our children and do what we need to do all in the same time. It's hard, though, because you have to divide your time amongst everything that you have going on in your life.
It's all about what you prioritize. What do you love most?
It's a priority. Yeah, it's a priority thing. And, you know, I mean, some people have a hard time saying, I want to do this for me. Some people just choose not to do it. And,
well,
you know,
we're all limited time offers. You know?
I love that. I love that you posted that.
We are. We are. We take ourselves for granted, and we take others for granted, and it needs to stop, because we are only here for a limited time. In this flesh, in this form, right? Okay. I'm going to say that because we always do exist in some form or another. But in this form, in this current life, we are only here for a limited time, so we need to appreciate everything. Appreciate the ones that you love. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself.
You love them.
Love yourself.
Send them a card. Love yourself. Send yourself a card.
Just make something beautiful for yourself.
I'm such a nerd.
No, I love you. I love you.
I love you too.
Make yourself a card. Make something beautiful. Make your life beautiful.
Make something pretty.
This is your domain.
Take the time to, like, sit down and just make something, it'll make you feel good.
That's the thing.
Make something for you, make something for someone else. Do it.
Yeah. People, we oftentimes are like made to feel like we don't belong here. And I say we absolutely do belong here, because if we didn't, we wouldn't be here. So
we are here for a reason.
This is your domain.
Here for a reason at this exact time.
We're here because this is what the universe needed. This is what this experience, everyone that you touch, they need you. So be there. Be present.
And don't be afraid for your children. Your children were meant to be here at this time too, and
they
have
are
the
responsible.
Tools that they need, and they have the tools that they need to get through. It is your responsibility to teach them and nurture them and help them.
Of course,
to
love them and tell them they're beautiful and tell them they're amazing, because those are not lies. But everybody needs that mirror, that person to reflect onto them, say good things, because they're gonna grow in better ways with all of that encouragement. So, whatever.
I know today wasn't like, we didn't have a plan today. We didn't have really a topic or whatever. And I thought a lot about it, and I was just like, you know what? We're just going to have a conversation, because that's what initially we set out to do. We said, we've been having these conversations all the time. Why don't we share them with other people, get people to chime in? If they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
And if they do, great. And that's what today was.
I feel like with things like this, when we just kind of go with it, it's more of like what we need to hear just comes out and it just happens.
Yeah.
And it's also what other people might need to hear. If you guys are hearing these messages and they resonate with you, then, it's probably what you were needing to hear. And if you hear something that triggers you, it's where you need to heal. So go inward and focus on that. But yeah, definitely. I love having these talks with you, and I actually like not having a plan. It's less stressful. This whole thing doesn't need to be stressful.
That was exact opposite of what we were striving for.
But yeah, but here we are, back in the swing of things.
We had somebody message us asking us a question about I forgot what they asked. They asked something like, "Why did you do this?" or what's come of this? And I was like, my perspective.
Who?
And the fact that somebody messaged us and they were asking us all these questions. And, and they said something about, like, why did you do this or whatever? And, number one was we want to strive for positivity and retrain our focus to focus on positivity and change our perspective. That goal's definitely been accomplished. And two, we get to spend more time together. That goal has been accomplished as well.
Exactly.
So in all, for me, it's a win-win. It's been wonderful. And the fact that other people are reaching out and saying, like, I love that you said this. Thank you. This means so much to me.
Yeah, I love that.
Someone comment on one of your messages. It just says, like, I love your messages. And I'm just like, yes, I do too.
You guys are so funny. I get really deep in my meditations where I'm, like, thinking about how reality is and what reality is, and so my messages that I get are sometimes very hard to explain or put into words, and it's hard to get other people's feedback on them because they're not thinking about that weird stuff that I'm thinking about sometimes. So I always go way out there, but yeah. So I like thinking about reality and consciousness and how reality is formed. How things...
Those big thought questions.
Yeah, because gravity doesn't exist. I've realized that. That was something that came to me yesterday. I went through a really long meditation over the past couple of days. I did a 6 to 8 hour meditation yesterday about...
Wow.
Yeah, well, it started out as one thing and then it ended up as what is matter and what is reality. Ooh. And it was intense, but that's why I was kind of posting about it. Hey, what's up, Mike? How are you?
It's good. That stuff is so good, and that's why I enjoy it. Keep sharing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep you inspire me to share.
Yeah.
I would love if it doesn't resonate with anybody, I don't care. It resonated with me.
Yeah.
But I hope it resonates with somebody because it was given to me for a reason, and I shared it for a reason. So
yeah.
I know that what we're doing is good for us, and I know it's good for someone else. So I'm gonna keep doing it because I love it. I love spending time with you. I love our focus. I love the fact that now when I hear things, it just speaks much louder to me than it did before.
Yeah.
Because it relates to what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
And I challenge people to, if they're struggling at all or they need something to focus on because they feel like they're like lost, find a new hobby that's positive, and your whole world's gonna change. Just it's gonna open up things that you didn't see before. You know, you buy a red car, guess what? You see all the red cars now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it goes. So do it. I can testify that it changes your life.
Seeking inner peace and self-improvement is one of the best ways to get started on any journey, because once you find that inner peace with yourself, then it's like all of the doors have always been open to you, and you realize that finally. Nothing is ever closed to us. It's whether we realize there is no door, there is no ceiling, there is no box. You know, those are all just invisible limitations that we have put on ourselves based on what we have been told or taught.
Exactly.
And it's bullshit. And we need to just get over all of that.
Take all those no's, and one of those no's is going to be a yes. Just keep pushing. I know that's
just make it a yes. Make it a yes for you, and don't give a what anybody else tells you, because their opinion doesn't matter. Only yours does. Are you happy with you? Are you happy with what you're doing in your life? Are you happy with how you're spending your time? Are you happy with your people that are around you? Are you happy? Are you making yourself happy? That's what you need to worry about. That's what you need to focus on. Not anybody else's opinion about anything, because it's all just static in the end. Everyone else's voice, if they're being negative, it's just static. Just let it go.
Yeah. Cut it out.
Let it roll by you and just be, okay, whatever. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing because it makes me happy.
Keep doing it. Yes. And the moment it doesn't make you happy, then cut it out.
Exactly. If it starts to become a negative thing for you, kind of like reevaluate yourself, you know? Go inward and think about like, okay, what is it about this thing now that's not making me happy? And then change it. Tweak it as you go. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do whatever you want. You know?
Exactly. You are in control. You are the driver.
You are the creator, the observer, and the subject of your entire world. You are the creator, the observer, and the subject. You're the director, the actor, and the watcher. So do it all the way that you want to do it.
Be the star.
It's perfect no matter what. You can't be late. You can't be wrong. You're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. All of this whole world, everything that we're experiencing is all just a big play. And there's a lot of people that are drama queens and that are lying about a lot of things. So love is the answer always.
Always. Let it go.
Yes.
Don't let that stuff cloud you. Well, we'll just have like a chill episode, get over early, and then here we are late.
Not late.
You're right.
Not late.
We're not late. We're
on
never
time.
Late. We're always on time.
On time.
It's always now, baby.
Yeah.
It's always now. But we will see you all next week. Be sure to tune in. I think we're having a guest on the show next week, right?
I believe so, but I still have to figure out the app situation.
The logistics of it. So
yeah, but
we will let you guys know if we're gonna have a guest on the live show or if we're gonna do a pre-record. We'll figure that out. We're still working on that, but so we're glad to see all your faces, and we love you. And please send us your thoughts and ideas and things that you find. We want to hear about it.
Definitely. We love you guys. Let your ripple be of love.
Love you.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.